everybody! Oh my god, this is like probably the worst image to go right into, isn't it? Welcome to the final, I'm assuming, episode of Let's Play Dual Destinies. You believe I've been at this for a year now, right? We're about to end this case pretty soon. Fulbright, or as we call it, the Phantom, is still refusing to, well, admit that he is the culprit of all the issues that are going on, and still hiding behind that he is a secret, agent of sorts, trying to, catch the Phantom right now. So anyway, let's continue from where we left off. But what a shame your hope was lost in that courtroom explosion. Oh god, what is going on with the sound? I am having so much sound problems today. So that's the real reason this courtroom was blown up. It was all for the Phantom to destroy that one piece of evidence. I can't believe it. Have we really reached a dead end after all this way? After coming all this way? Has the only evidence we have on this guy really been destroyed? How dare you continue to call me the Phantom? As I've said all along, I'm just a nameless undercover agent. Objection! And the defense will continue to assert that you are the Phantom. Furthermore, we have proof. Or at least, a prayer. Phoenix, please. I'm afraid that won't do, Mr. Wright. At least put some weight behind your swing, right, Dodo? I know, I'm trying. There's only one thing that can unmask this menace, the moon rock. But that was blown to bits in the courtroom bombing. Check his hands, damn it! And yet, is it really gone without a trace? What if some tiny part, some little fragment, still exist? Yes, and you can see the stolen moon rock there too. That strange black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture? Very well, Mr. Wright, let's see your proof. What evidence will finally prove Phantom's identity? I think it's missing a word there. Oh, let's, wow, where am I in this thing?
Take that!
Was it this one? Isn't that the bomb that blew up the courtroom and the moon rock along with it? Are you saying this revealed the Phantom's identity? Yes, Your Honor. Focus your attention on this photo taken after the bombing, specifically right here. That's an interesting looking rock, isn't it?
Take that!
Please take a look at this newspaper article. This article about the HAT-1. Now please note the strange black and yellow rock there on the left. That's the moon rock, and when we look at this photo of the bomb fragments, see how there is a rock-like object with the same coloration? Oh my, yes, I see it! It would seem that the moon rock was much more durable than the Phantom thought. If we take a look at all the fragments that the police found, we'll likely find one with blood. And DNA testing on that blood would prove that the witness is indeed the Phantom. Unbelievable! But that's impossible! A surprise to be sure, that's one bloody tough rock. Let us have the fragment tested straight away. Oh, and you'll be having a DNA test too, Fulbright. Bailiff, contact the police department immediately and order the testing. Prosecutor Blackwell, what do the test results show? There was a rock fragment that had blood on it that appeared to be several years old. DNA testing revealed... Well, I'm sure you know full well what it revealed. Well, they confirmed it was the witness's blood, didn't they? There's no use in trying to talk your way out of it anymore. Admit it, you are the Phantom.
Objection!
Wait, what? Huh? Mr. Wright, did you just raise an objection to yourself? No, I didn't say a word. That was my objection, Apollo. Huh? Oh, Oh no, why? Really? Yes! Phoenix Fulbright, let's go! My thoughts exactly. Why? It was a pretty good objection too, don't you think? Oh, that's just really disturbing. Now he's me? So, did you have an objection or not, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, no, not really, Your Honor. No, not you, Mr. Wright. I be the witness, Mr. Wright. Could this trial get any more insane? Yes it could. Mr. Wright, this fragment of rock in the photograph, and those just like it. How can you be sure they're pieces of the same moon rock that was at the robotics lab? Care to explain what you mean? Well, there may have been a rock or two in the courtroom that had my blood on it, but how do you know they're not just rocks? You can't prove that... You can't prove they're the moon rock, right? Oh my god, stop making that face. That's just a... No. Don't be absurd. Just compare the fragment with the rock in the newspaper article. Anybody can see they're the same. They have the exact same coloration.
Objection!
But maybe some other rock with the same coloration happened to be in the courtroom. It's highly unlikely a rock with such a unique appearance just happened to be there. But you can't deny it's a possibility.
Objection!
But your blood was found on one of the fragments! Apollo, there's nothing suspicious about my blood being on a piece of rock. And why not? I know it sounds like an excuse, but... Several years ago, I tripped and fell in this very courtroom and was hurt pretty badly. Maybe that's how my blood found its way onto the piece of rubble. Okay, is this Fulbright being Fulbright, or is this Fulbright being Phoenix Wright? I don't even know. Even he must realize how ridiculous that sounds. And yet, I suppose it's not completely out of the question. I see you're starting to sweat, Mr. Wright. I thought that the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You're the last person I want to hear that from. Well, then why don't we get those fragments analyzed? We can ask an expert to verify if they were from the moon rock in the robotics lab or not. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that just isn't going to be possible. And why not? In order to prove that the fragments are from what you say they're from, you need a sample of the moon rock from 7 years ago to compare it with. But that moon rock doesn't exist anymore, and there's no sample data left either. So you see, short of going back in time, there's no way to prove that any of the fragments are from that moon rock. Oh, no! God damn it, Phantom. There's really no way to prove it? Are you finally ready to throw in the towel?
Objection!
So many objections. So the moon rock doesn't exist anymore, huh? That's right. It was such a valuable rock, too. A shame, really. But it's lost to us forever. He's wrong. It's not completely lost. There's another piece of it right here by our side. A shining fragment of hope that can turn everything around. The final piece of evidence to put this phantom away for good. The defense has a piece of evidence that completely contradicts your claim. You have what now? A final fragment of hope that was passed down with great love and care. That is such a corny line. We do? We do, even if the person holding it hasn't realized it yet. Hint, hint! Is this true, Mr. Wright? Pay no attention to him, Your Honor. He's just bluffing, as usual. I wonder if you'll be able to force your biggest smile when you see what I've got. Try me. The piece of evidence that shows the original moon rock isn't completely lost is this! Well, if you hadn't realized what the hint was, it's Athena's freaking earring. The final piece. But just about the only things my mother left with me are Widget and this earring. Maybe she did love me, in her own way. Athena, you may not know it, but your mother left with you a very important piece of evidence. She did? You're bluffing. You don't have anything of the kind. Oh, but we do. Evidence that will finally corner you. Because we have a moon rock of our own. Yeah! Oh! Now you get it. You mean... God, you guys, just say it already. Exactly. A gift Dr. Sykes left her daughter. An item Athena has cherished and worn all these years. As distant as Dr. Sykes may have seemed to our daughter, that fragment of her love will shake off the darkness of the past and give us all hope for the future. This is a defensive sample of the moon rock.
Take that!
That's your sample. This earring that Miss Sykes always wears was made from that original moon rock. What? All this time. It was right. No, I don't even know what he said. I guess it was right all along. Right there all along. No. It can't be. If the composition of the bomb fragments and the earrings are found to be a match, then it will prove beyond the shadow of a doubt the origin of the fragment in this photo. And since the test results showed that the blood on the fragments was yours, this means that the identity you tried so hard to hide will finally be revealed. The identity I tried to hide? I don't have an identity to hide. I may not have Athena's ears, but now, even I can hear the fear in your voice. Fear? I don't feel fear. I left all of my emotions behind years ago.
Objection! Every human being feels fear. You simply can't face the emotions inside you. You can't face them because you have nothing. No love, no trust.
And I suppose you do?
I didn't have anybody support me at first either. I couldn't face the fear inside me, couldn't get over the trauma of my past.
Like I said, I don't feel fear.
Objection!
Then you're just a coward for running away from yourself. When I had my doubts about Miss Sykes, I felt like I would collapse under the weight. But I wanted to trust her. And I knew I could trust Mr. Wright to uncover the truth. That's why I was able to face my suspicions without hesitation. Running away from myself? How can I run from myself when there's nothing inside? Nothing at all.
Objection!
That's really sad, Phantom. I know it's hard for someone as unwilling to trust others as you to understand, but people have emotions. It's just a fact of life, and so, people can be weak at times. But that's exactly why people need to trust one another, so they can gain the strength to face themselves when things are at their bleakest. Without trust in others, how can you ever hope to face your fears? I love corny lines. The fear inside of me? Is this... No. No! Ah! I'm afraid. I'm scared. Ah! I feel fear.
You can't outrun yourself.
Remove that mask and unleash your emotions. Confront your guilt head on. With your own true face. Except we don't actually see his true face, I don't think. My own true face? No, please don't. I know you're here. Where are you? See? I haven't revealed anything yet. Honest. Ah! My own true face? I don't have one. My face! This is a trippy breakdown, like, seriously. Is this my face? Is it? No, that's not it. No! This isn't me either. Ah! Is this me? Which one is my face? What am I? Who am I? That's a lot of mass that he had on him this whole time. Just saying. Of course we don't get to see his face. God damn it, Capcom. A sniper attack in this very courtroom. It chills me to my bones. But the police are doing everything they can to track down the sniper as we speak. Prosecutor Blackwell, how is Detective his imposter, doing? He's a lucky fellow. The bullet didn't hit any vital organs. He appears to be in no danger of dying. Well, that was fortunate for all of us. The analysis of that final piece of evidence Wright Dono submitted is in. The composition of Mrs. Sykes' earrings and the fragment with the blood on it match. We can now be certain that it is a fragment of the moon rock in question. The murders and bombings at the Space Center, both past and present, the bombing of Courtroom Number 4, and all of his other crimes, as numerous as the stars. Under suspicion of all these things, the spy known as the Phantom has been incarcerated. Thus, the prosecutor's office is now responsible for his well-being. There are still a myriad of things we wish him to tell us about, after all. Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, it's time to finally bring this trial to an end. But before I do, will the defendant please return to our proper place?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oops. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Athena Sykes, not guilty! Confetti! Thank you, Gumshoe, for throwing the confetti. Wow, okay, it's coming from the sky. Case closed. Court is adjourned.
Congratulations, Mr. Nick.
Thank you, Pearls, and thank you for being there for Athena.
It's the least I could do. But Athena was great, wasn't she? She was so strong throughout the whole trial. Daddy, I'm so glad to see you.
Trucy, are you alright? Are you hurt?
I'm fine, Daddy. I was doing magic tricks for the other hostages to keep our spirits up.
That's our Trucy for you. I'm really glad to see you're safe. Are you? Are you really? Considering you were all for the hostage thing, you didn't even put up an objection about it? Contradictions. Right, I feel I owe you yet another debt of gratitude. Edgeworth. We never would have caught him if it weren't for you. For all of you. Aw, come on, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? You're the ones who have been tracking the Phantom all this time. Plus, you were the one who gave Blackwell permission to serve as prosecutor, right? Yes, well, we knew the Phantom was somewhere nearby. The police and I were trying to find him, but we never did manage to do so until this trial. Well, we never would have won this trial without you. It was your help as chief prosecutor that was the key to the successful conclusion. Besides, it was you that saw to it I got my attorney's badge back, wasn't it? So you figured it out, did you? Yeah, getting my license back went just a little too smoothly, you know? It should have been much harder after that evidence forging scandal. Well, I owe you a few favors. Hey, Edgeworth, think we can finally bring the Dark Age of the Law to an end? Oh my god, stop bringing up that... One day, I will make a video compiling all the times they say Dark Age of the Law in this game. Even the darkest nights turn to dawn eventually. Our sun will rise again. Besides, now that Prosecutor Blackwell has been cleared of all charges, a great deal of mistrust towards the court system should have been swept away. You know, you could have said that with a bigger smile, Edgeworth. It won't kill you. Instead, the furrows in that brow of yours just keeps getting deeper and deeper. So I should smile more, huh? I'll think about it. You really have to think about it.
Ah, the complicated love-hate relationship between lifelong rivals.
Who's talking? I think it's Blackwell. Athena. I'm forever in your debt. You went to all that trouble, even taking the bar exam while you were overseas.
Well, I knew that if I didn't get your sentence overturned fast, you'd be executed. So I studied and studied. I was frantic. I'm so glad I made it in time. Just barely, but I still made it.
That a girl, Athena. It's good to see you finally let your tears out. Yes, I survived by the skin of my teeth thanks to you.
Shame on you, Simon, for trying to throw your life away like that!
It was never my intention to just throw my life away. But some things in this world are more important than your own life. OTP!
Like what?
My honor-bound duty to protect with my life. My mentor's most beloved treasure.
Huh?
That's some loyalty. This guy really is a samurai through and through. Well, it looks like we can breathe easy now. Apollo, Athena, thank you both. It took all of us together to pull it off.
You bet, boss! What a team we are, huh?
It was definitely the most amazing turnabout I've ever seen. I'm a lucky guy. My office has the best, most capable lawyers around. Thanks, Mr. Wright. I'm going to work extra hard to make up for all the worry I caused. Apollo Justice and fine and ready to go. Let's hear it for the Wright Anything Agency.
Well, nobody's gonna try harder than me, so you better watch out, Apollo. Simon is free thanks to Mr. Wright. But there are so many more people out there who need our help.
You're right, and I'll be needing you both to help them. We still have a long way to go. Get ready, you two. We want a major victory, but the war is far from over. There are still people out there suffering under false charges who need defending. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. If we ever hope to fully bring the Dark Age of the Law to a close...
Hey, I know one thing we have to do. We have to celebrate with a bowl of piping hot noodles.
Huh? Nothing like a bowl of Eldune's noodles after a trial. All on Mr. Wright's tab. That's how it works at the Wright Anything Agency, right, Mr. Wright? Oh, Apollo. Huh? As a boss, it's your duty to express gratitude to your people for their great work. In that case, allow me to join in the festivities. I would greatly welcome a bowl of noodles.
Huh? I have an idea, Daddy. Why don't you just invite everybody involved with the case? The more the merrier, right? Oh, Mr. Nick, look how far you come. Who knew you'd grow up to be such a generous gentleman?
Guys? Under these circumstances, there's only one thing I can say. Only if I get to join in.
Hey, no fair! I want to say it too!
Really, guys? Okay. Here we go. No thanks.
Objection!
Oi! We finally finished! Oh, man. I would read these, but I think the text goes really fast, so I'm just gonna let it roll. But hey, we finished! After a year of recording this, goodness. So I get to talk about my thoughts on this game, or based on what I can remember. Like, this was like my third playthrough of this? I gotta say, the game is good. It's really good. But with all the good stuff it has, there are a couple of things that hold it back. For one thing, the interface for this game is incredibly, good. The updates on the interface is great. It's getting through stuff is a lot more easier. My issue with it though is that this game I feel is a little too easy. I think there's too much hand-holding involved, even into the last case. I mean, you could tell, like, they were trying to hint that it's the earring on Athena's, like, ear. That's the final evidence. I think this game was just a little too easy. Like, heck, I didn't even have to use a guide the first time I went through this. I think I only got stuck maybe twice compared to the older games. So I think this game is a little too easy. I think they introduced Athena a little too soon, considering while Apollo did get more character development in this game, I don't think we really got to know Apollo that well. For one thing, they didn't really go try to clear up issues from Apollo Justice, the game itself. Like, how about Trucy and Apollo being siblings? Like, they never talked about that. And the fact that, you know, Galvin Clavier didn't even, she just didn't even, like, say anything about that one dress that, what's her face? I can't even remember her name, but Athena's friend, that in case 3, she was wearing that outfit, that woman, that singer from Apollo Justice. Goodness, I can't remember names right now. Oh, it's so bad. But yeah, I feel like they didn't really touch too much on, like, anything from the Apollo Justice. And it was almost like they just went from case 3 and took bits of elements from Apollo Justice and then just went from there. I mean, they just introduced Apollo that he had a friend instead of clearing up issues that were already established in Apollo Justice. And that's my problem with this, that they kind of just put Apollo Justice, the game, off to the side and just kind of used whatever stuff they couldn't really avoid and just brought it back for this game. I think they did too much on Dark Age of the Law. You already know I'm really groaning at every time they bring it up, but it is true that they keep bringing it up way too much in the game. I think they just focused on one subject too much in this game, and there's not a lot of branching topics or issues that come up in this game like the older ones. And I think while the reveal for the Phantom being the detective was pretty damn awesome, I think it's still kind of weak. More or less in the sense that most of the people you learn about, they have kind of a tragic story or some kind of backstory to them that we learn about them once they reveal themselves, kind of thing. And usually it's like the final case usually is pretty damn epic, what they reveal and stuff. And it just didn't feel that much that way with the Phantom. There's still a lot of things we don't know about him, and I kind of wish if they make another sequel to this, which they're not doing right now, if they continue on this track, I want to see more about the Phantom. Like, heck, it'd be kind of cool if they used the Phantom to look into, to help and, you know, just to do some community service and look into, like, spy stuff for us or something like that, investigating. That'd be kind of cool, right? Oh god, what else about this game? Oh, I just had something on my mind and I can't remember what I wanted to say. I think they focus too more on the large scale for this kind of game, where how most of the other games, they generally kind of kept the plots, the characters themselves were a little bit more self-contained. I think that's the word to put it. Like, this one is like an international spy, and I think it's because it's the writers who did Ace Attorney Investigations. They love their international anything, if you notice, with Investigation 1. They like large-scale stories. And while it worked, I don't know, having already done Investigation 2, I think the whole big reveal thing at the end where you have this recurring character in every case, and then being revealed as this bad guy, I think it's getting old, and if these writers are going to continue to make more Ace Attorney games, I think they need to think of another kind of villain archetype character, because they've done it now 3 times, I think. Yeah, they kind of did in 1, but they really did in Investigations 2, and that was done before this one. So it's like they've done it 3 times now, that kind of villain archetype where they're the nice guy, and you see them constantly in most of the cases, and then they come back and be like, oh, just kidding guys, we're a villain. I think they really do need to think of something else other than that. If I was gonna rate this game, I don't know, it's still a fun game. I keep coming back to it. So it has some quirks to it that I quite enjoy. And the fact that, you know, it's been years since we've actually had an Ace Attorney game coming out overseas. So it was really nice to go back and revisit all the characters. Oh, right, the other thing that bothered me, the lack of using fingerprint powder and all that stuff that they did in the original games. They just completely removed it in this game. It's just more streamlined, which is not a bad thing, but I kind of like doing the fingerprint powder and all that stuff because it was part of the investigation. It was an investigation thing. I don't like it that it's gone now. And the fact that you can't really explore, it's very... You're on a set track. You can't really explore other locations, even though, you know, you have a notebook that tells you where to go next, right? But you can't go exploring anywhere else and click random things and see what the characters are going to comment about. Not as much in this one. That's kind of disappointing. So, no, computer, don't die. So if I was going to rate this game, I would probably give it either a 3.5 out of 5 stars or a 4 stars out of 5. Just because it is a good game, it has potential to be better, I think, in my opinion. I think they could work better. I think they can do better than what they have right now in this. It's a good return of the series in a sense because it's been so long since we've had any Ace Attorney games. So it's on the right track to going somewhere, but I think they really need to not so much focus on big international storylines anymore and do something more self-contained like they were in the older games, in my opinion. And the animation in this is great. I quite enjoy the animation in this a lot. Music. Oh god, the music's too good in this game. I'm a little down that they didn't really... you know, like, second case when you were playing as Apollo, I was really hoping they put more Apollo songs. You know, songs that were in Apollo's game, they brought some more back in. I think we were missing a couple of them. Like... I can't remember right now, it's been so long, but I know that when I was playing through this, there were a couple of Apollo Justice songs that were missing, and I kind of wish they, you know, I was kind of hoping they'd come back for at least Case 2, since you played Apollo for that one. But overall, the music is great in this game. I got no complaints over there for that. So what else do you want to talk? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all my thoughts on this game. Good game. Could be better. But it's on the right track going somewhere. Oh. And I'm totally looking forward to whatever my next project's gonna be. Probably gonna do another Ace Attorney game. At some point. But for now, I'm just gonna sit here and be happy that I finally finished yet another series. A very good series. So you guys can sit and enjoy the credits for now until I think of something else I want to talk about. I believe we have another cutscene coming in. So I hope you guys, well, since it is a cutscene, there's no voicing for me at all for this. But I hope you guys enjoy this entire Let's Play series. And I look forward to seeing you guys again in the next project I'll be working on. So I'll see you guys next time, and enjoy the cutscene.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Actually, one other complaint I should mention now that I'm watching this cutscene. They need a better animation. Yes. Like, just do better animations, Capcom.
Mr. Starbuck!
You'll be fine. Just believe in yourself.
The moon's closer than you think!
Thanks, guys. I wouldn't have made it back into space if it wasn't for you.
All right!
Through the years, I've seen as much joy as heartache, honesty as deceit. But just as Mr. Starbuck was able to escape the harsh pull of his fears and despair, I believe that hope and friendship can lift us all up towards a brighter tomorrow.
Objection!
There's only one thing that can unmask this menace, the moon rock. But that was blown to bits in the courtroom bombing. Check his hands, damn it! And yet, is it really gone without a trace? What if some tiny part, some little fragment still exists? Yes, and you can see the stolen moon rock there too. That strange black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture? Very well, Mr. Wright, let's see your proof. What evidence will finally prove Phantom's identity? I think it's missing a word there. Oh, let's, wow, where am I in this thing?
Take that!
Was it this one? Isn't that the bomb that blew up the courtroom and the moon rock along with it? Are you saying this revealed the Phantom's identity? Yes, Your Honor. Focus your attention on this photo taken after the bombing, specifically right here. That's an interesting looking rock, isn't it?
Take that!
Please take a look at this newspaper article. This article about the HAT-1. Now please note the strange black and yellow rock there on the left. That's the moon rock, and when we look at this photo at the bomb fragments, see how there is a rock-like object with the same coloration? Oh my, yes, I see it! It would seem that the moon rock was much more durable than the Phantom thought. If we take a look at all the fragments that the police found, we'll likely find one with... I am having so much sound problems today. So that's the real reason this courtroom was blown up. It was all for the Phantom to destroy that one piece of evidence. I can't believe it. Have we really reached a dead end after all this way? After coming all this way? Has the only evidence we have on this guy really been destroyed? How dare you continue to call me the Phantom? As I've said all along, I'm just a nameless undercover agent.
Objection!
And the defense will continue to assert that you are the Phantom. Furthermore, we have proof. Or at least, a prayer. Phoenix, please. I'm afraid that won't do, Mr. Wright. At least put some weight behind your swing, right, Dodo? I know, I'm trying. Hey everybody, oh my god, this is like probably the worst image to go right into, isn't it? Welcome to the final, I'm assuming, episode of Let's Play Dual Destinies. You believe I've been at this for a year now, right? We're about to end this case pretty soon. Fulbright, or as we call it, the Phantom, is still refusing to, well, admit that he is the culprit of all the issues that are going on, and still hiding behind that he is a secret, agent of sorts, trying to, catch the Phantom right now. So anyway, let's continue from where we left off. But what a shame your hope was lost in that courtroom explosion. Oh god, what is going on with the sound? Blood! And DNA testing on that blood would prove that the witness is indeed the Phantom. Unbelievable! But that's impossible. A surprise to be sure, that's one bloody tough rock. Let us have the fragment tested straight away. Oh, and you'll be having a DNA test too, Fulbright. Bailiff, contact the police department immediately in order to testing. Prosecutor Blackwell, what do the test results show? There was a rock fragment that had blood on it that appeared to be several years old. DNA testing revealed... Well, I'm sure you know full well what it revealed.